Moving on to strategy 4, embrace the work itself. Now this was inspired by George Leonard's amazing book, Mastery. Here's a quote from that book. Goals and contingencies are important, but they exist in the future and the past, beyond the pale of the sensory realm. Practice, the path of mastery, exists only in the present. You can see it, hear it, smell it, feel it. To love the plateau, that is where you are now. To love the plateau is to love the eternal now, to enjoy the inevitable spurts of progress and the fruits of accomplishment, then serenely to accept the new plateau that waits just beyond them. To love the plateau is to love what is most essential and enduring. Now the reason this matters is because we as project teams spend so much time goal-oriented and focused on the future, but at the same time we were drawn to do the work that we do because of the love of the work itself, of our profession. So it might make sense to step back and remember that we're here because we love this work and embrace the work itself. So in the spirit of embracing the work itself, step back and reflect on these questions. What's so great about your chosen profession? Why did you choose it? What is it about the doing of your work that brings you joy? And how might you, as project manager or team leader, help your team find this joy uninterrupted and unharassed? In other words, how might you increase their opportunities to simply focus on the work itself and to embrace that work joyfully? Now here's strategy 5. Take the risk. Now let's look at our inspirational quotes. Emerson tells us there's nothing capricious in nature. The implanting of a desire indicates that its gratification is in the constitution of the creature that feels it. Then there's Joseph Campbell's a bit of advice given to a young Native American at the time of his initiation. As you go the way of life, you will see a great chasm. Jump. It's not as wide as you think. Now when you think about it, there are 3 really good reasons to take that risk. Number 1, you'll grow. Number 2, you'll create something new or amazing. And number 3, you'll become inspired. Connect with your source, your God, or the universe, and you'll tap into and acquire that energy. So step back and reflect on these questions. Is our project team overly cautious? When's the last time we laughed nervously as co-conspirators or got a little apprehensive about a potentially strange or unlikely solution to a problem? When's the last time we got really excited about a completely innovative solution? What might we do to be more creative, to take a few more risks to make that leap? Now, strategy 6 is something that a lot of project managers have trouble with. Just say no. As Stephen Covey tells us, you have to decide what your highest priorities are and have the courage, pleasantly, smilingly, non-apologetically, to say no to other things. And the way you do that is by having a bigger yes burning inside. The enemy of the best is often the good. So you need to say no. As Herbert Baird Swope tells us, I can't give you a surefire formula for success, but I can give you a formula for failure. Try to please everybody all the time. Even Steve Jobs tells us you can't just ask customers what they want and then try to give that to them. By the time you get it built, they'll want something new. So the whole notion of saying yes to everything that comes along without engaging your professional judgment might just not make sense. One of the stories I like to tell in my project management classes, in fact, one of the classes said we should get t-shirts printed that say, "Be the plumber." The notion is that you contract for repiping your kitchen, let's say. You got a deal you've made with your local plumber, and then partway through the project, you ask for a little add-on maybe to put a shower in the garage. Now, what would the plumber say? The plumber would say, well, hold it. If he was a polite plumber, he would say, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll set up another contract. I'll get more money, I'll get more time, and then we'll do that additional shower. A grouchier plumber would simply say, well, that's outrageous. For nothing, you get nothing. You give me no more time, you give me no more money. We're not going to continue. He would just say no. And that's what professionals need to do once in a while, to respect themselves enough to understand that their professional services are worth money, to have a higher yes burning inside to achieve quality on what you've contracted for, and just say no to add-ons that don't make sense. So reflect on these questions. Are there elements of our project that might be vulnerable to scope creep from our stakeholders' expanding wish lists? Are team members prepared to say no to these wish lists, smilingly, unapologetically? Are any of your team members predisposed to saying yes to certain enhancements that they would enjoy creating, but that really aren't part of the project specifications? Are you staying alert to these potential scope changes and figuring out the best ways to handle them? So remember the plumber and just say no when it's going to blow your budget, wreck your schedule, or compromise your quality.